Today, we're gonna dive into one of the best online checking and savings accounts that are available today, which is with SoFi. In this video, I'll break down what makes SoFi's banking services stand out and how you can capitalize on the array of financial tools that they offer. Plus, I don't want you to miss out on the ongoing promotional offer that could put up to $275 in your pocket for free when you open a SoFi account. SoFi has been my bank account for a little over a year and a half now, and there's been some ups and downs along the way that I want to talk to you about. Despite some of the mishaps, I'm happy to say that, like a moth to a light, I still keep coming back to them. Although at the end of this video, I do want to compare SoFi with some other popular bank accounts as well, like Ally, Chase, Capital One, and so on. Throughout its years, SoFi has launched several groundbreaking financial tools and features that you won't find at your typical neighborhood traditional bank. I'll dive deeper into those features and everything else SoFi has to offer, but first, let's talk about their interest rates. Currently, SoFi is offering 0.5% APY on its checking accounts, which is marketed as 7 times the national average checking rate. What this means for you is that you could earn more interest in 5 weeks with SoFi than you would in 1 year with another average checking account. And as for the savings account, SoFi offers up to 4.5% APY, which is marketed as 10 times the national average rate, which again, you could earn more interest in 5 weeks with your SoFi savings account than you would in 1 year with another average savings account interest rate. To snag this great rate, all you need to do is set up a direct deposit to your SoFi account or add $5,000 or more into your account every 30 days. If you don't set up a direct deposit or don't add $5,000 or more every 30 days, your checking account interest rate will still be 0.5%, but your savings account will drop to 1.2% APY. Which is still, pretty respectable. But I would say try and hit one of those 2 requirements, or else obviously you wouldn't be getting the full value from your SoFi bank accounts. Please be warned that the interest rates that we're going over today, along with every other bank, will change frequently. They'll go up, they'll go down. I think the peak interest rate since I've been with SoFi was like 1.8% or 1.2% for the checking account. And I believe the 4.5% on the savings account is actually one of the highest that it's ever been so far. However, the point is, whenever those inevitable interest rate changes do come, SoFi has always held a competitive interest rate that was above most other competitor banks. And here's the kicker. There's a fantastic promotion running where you can earn up to $275 when you open your SoFi account and set up direct deposit. To activate this offer, you can use my referral link in the description below. The bonus amount is tiered based on the money you direct deposit within 25 days of SoFi receiving your first qualifying direct deposit check. So just because you open up your account today doesn't mean that 25-day timer starts quite yet. The 25-day timer will start when your first successful direct deposit hits your SoFi account. Some example of qualified direct deposit transactions are payroll deposits made via the automated clearinghouse or ACH network, social security payments, pension payments, and most government benefit payments. And if you are a sole proprietor or you have affiliate links, some of those transactions will actually count as a direct deposit as well. If your direct deposits total between $1,000 and $4,999, you'll receive a $50 bonus. And if your direct deposits total $5,000 or more, you'll receive a $250 bonus. You'll receive that bonus around 7 business days after the 25-day evaluation period is over. On top of that, you can earn another $25 just for creating an account, and you don't need to set up direct deposit. Instead, you just have to deposit $10 into your SoFi account within 14 days of opening your account using my link down below. I would suggest depositing the $10 sooner rather than later because it has to actually settle into your SoFi account, which could take on its own 1 to 3 business days. Aside from the high interest rates and cash bonuses, SoFi aims to provide a fee-free banking experience for its customers, which, let's be real here, at this point in time, I think everyone should have a bank that does not charge any fees. Like, it's a pretty common thing nowadays. So if you're paying fees for your normal personal or savings account, I think it's time to reconsider and time to switch banks. SoFi has no minimum balance fees, no monthly fees, and access to over 55,000 ATMs within the All Point network, with 0 fees. And to find a fee-free ATM, you just have to look one up that's close to you from within the very user-friendly SoFi app. Although you have access to ATMs, I do want to bring up a point later in the video about how SoFi has a very funky way of depositing your cold hard cash into your account. And honestly, I don't like it. Now, if you do set up a direct deposit of at least $1,000 per month, you'll also enjoy no fee overdraft protection of up to $50. Not sure how often you have actually overdrafted before, but if you do with SoFi, you could save like, I don't know, $30 or more in fees, in overdraft fees with overdraft protection like this. Another cool feature that SoFi offers is the 2-day early paychecks. Although this option might not be as groundbreaking as it was a few years ago, it's still a handy feature. If you're already used to receiving your paychecks early with like another bank, you could rest assured that you'll continue to do so with SoFi. Setting up direct deposit with your SoFi account is all it takes. Personally, I used to get my paycheck every Thursday, but with SoFi, it now lands into my account on Tuesday. And this kind of gives me a head start, which allows me to pay my bills earlier or jumpstart my investments. By this point in the video, I think I want to make myself clear that setting up direct deposit with SoFi is a no-brainer given all these extra benefits that come with it. Also, yes, your money is FDIC insured up to $250,000 per legal category of account ownership, which means you can have a peace of mind knowing that your money is just as safe as it would be with a traditional bank. Those are all helpful stuff so far, but I think one of the best things that SoFi has is something called vaults. Vaults are like individual savings accounts where you could allocate money for specific goals. You could create one for rent, you could create one for gas, or one for investments, and so on. You could have up to 20 different vaults open at a time. With my old bank, I did not have this feature, and it wasn't until I started using something like this that I realized how impactful it was. Before, I had to create separate checking or separate savings accounts in order to separate money how I wanted. But with SoFi Vaults, it's as easy as clicking a few buttons and I can transfer my money from my vaults to my savings account to my checking accounts, instantly. The best part is that every vault will still earn the same great savings interest rates. So again, right now that's 4.5%. I know some other online banks also do something like this, and if you haven't tasted the rainbow and tried vaults or buckets, or I don't know what else other people call it, but something like this, I would highly suggest giving it a try. Another feature that SoFi does offer is something called roundups. Roundups is a way to gradually build up your wealth, and it works similarly to the Acorns app if you're familiar with that. This will automatically save a small portion of your spending every time you use your SoFi debit card. Each purchase gets rounded up and that amount is transferred from your main account to the vault of your choice. It's a gimmicky way to boost your savings over time. Of course, this isn't meant to replace your regular savings, but those small amounts, I guess, could add up significantly. Personally, I think, like I mentioned earlier, this is a gimmicky feature and I've never used it before, and I never will use it. First off, I never pay things with a debit card. This is a mainly credit card channel, so of course I would recommend using a credit card over a debit card for pretty much everything. And second of all, rounding up 50 cents from a $5.50 coffee isn't really gonna do much for you. It doesn't really make a difference or move the needle, I think, unless you're spending a lot on debit cards, and you shouldn't in the first place. A much better way of saving or setting aside savings is having a percentage of your paycheck automatically be sent to the savings account of your choice every time you get paid. I have been doing that for years and years and years and years, and will forever think it's better than saving a few cents whenever you use your debit card. And yes, with SoFi, you could split your paycheck or set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account, so that way you are saving automatically. I have a few more random facts about SoFi before I go over the cons that I have experienced so far and the other bank options that you could choose from. With your SoFi account, you could deposit checks and you could send money to and from your other bank accounts. Except no, unfortunately, SoFi does not work with Zelle at the moment, and you can't add beneficiaries to your account, which brings me now to the bad things about SoFi. And not being compatible with Zelle was actually one of them, and not having a beneficiary is another one. However, the other major con which I found of a SoFi account is that it is a pain to deposit your cash into your account. Try to imagine this scenario with me. Your Mima just, I don't know, gave you $100 for being a good boy. Well, where do you go to deposit that crispy Benjamin into your SoFi account? Well, instead of conveniently going to an ATM where you don't have to talk to anyone, you would now have to go to a 7-Eleven, Walgreens, or any other location found within the Green Dot network. To be fair, there are lots and lots of locations. Like, that's not the problem. The problem isn't the fact that there are a limited number of locations to go to, but pretty much all of those locations are at a convenience store, gas station, or pharmacy. And you know, if I'm being honest, it's not a fun place to go with a bunch of money to deposit. Anyway, once you get inside, you want to go to the cashier and tell them you want to deposit cash through Green Dot using your SoFi MasterCard debit card. You let them know the amount and then you hand them the cash. You swipe your SoFi debit card, and as soon as 15 minutes, your funds will be available in your SoFi account. The best part of it all is that SoFi's partners charge a $5 fee to deposit cash. Like, can you imagine that? They have the gall to charge you money for depositing money. Like, make that make sense. You can't. And on top of that, you have cash deposit limits. A total of 2 cash deposits are allowed per day. At most, it could be $500 per cash deposit transaction. So that means you could deposit $1,000 total per day. And there's also limits on how much cash you could deposit per the week or per the month. You could deposit up to $3,000 per week or up to $5,000 per month. So if you have to deposit that much cash, good luck, because SoFi is not gonna be easy for you. So if you want to deposit that much cash, you're probably not gonna wanna deposit directly into your SoFi account. Instead, what I do is I still have a Chase banking account as well, where I simply use their ATMs or bank branches to do my normal banking shenanigans, like deposit cash or withdrawing cash or getting foreign currency, etc. So that's kind of the workaround here. Once my money is in my Chase account, I immediately send it to my SoFi account to take advantage of the better interest rates there. Another small con of SoFi is that you have to open both a savings and checking account at the same time. You can't open or close one and not the other. And you also can't have multiple SoFi checking or savings accounts. I mean, that's where the vaults come into play for your savings account. But if you wanted separate checking accounts, for example, you can't have that with SoFi. With all of that said and done, how does SoFi compare to its competitors? If you have a traditional bank account like with Chase, Capital One, Amex, Bank of America, and so on, I would suggest switching over ASAP. Primarily, it's because you get way better interest rates with SoFi than any traditional bank right now. I think Amex savings account is the only one close to SoFi right now with an APY of 4.3%. However, like I mentioned earlier, I would suggest still keeping your traditional bank account open for the access to their ATMs and other, normal banking services. Just move over most of your money to SoFi, or a good chunk of your money to SoFi, to start accruing interest there. As for other online bank accounts, Ally Bank is another pretty solid option. Both have no fees. SoFi has better interest rates. Ally has a way to put the account in the name of a trust or list beneficiaries. Both have bucket or vault accounts, and both are online only banks. Ally also does not offer any cash deposits, like, whatsoever. You have to deposit via remote check deposit, online transfers, direct deposit, wire transfers, or sending a check through the mail. For me, I chose SoFi mainly for the better interest rates, so that's why I would recommend SoFi over Ally at the moment. Although if you need to list a beneficiary on your account or set up a trust, then Ally would be the better option for the two, simply because SoFi doesn't offer those services. Anyway, if you choose to go with SoFi, don't forget to set up direct deposit and use the link in the description to get your free cash bonus. But if you're still not convinced about this savings account, you could watch this video here where I go over the other best high yield savings accounts of 2023. Thank you guys for watching. All right, shoot.